but I think I have an explanation of why this happens. I have an explanation for why this happens, and why this is, and why society does this, at least in the United States or in the Western world. It's simply because men are just expected. There's more that's expected from us within society. We're expected to be the builders, and we're expected to be the lawyers, the politicians, the doctors, etc., the construction workers. That's why I have a trade. I have a trade in welding. And even though I work fast food as of right now, I have a trade, and I'm graduating college. I finished my welding trade. I'm just waiting to graduate and get my degree, which I'm going to be getting this year. But I already finished with my welding trade, got my certification. I'm just looking for a welding job right now, in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? So fast food is not the goal. It's just to get me over until the meantime, until I'm able to get what it is that I'm looking to get. But it's just more within society that's expected from us. Now, it's funny still because the feminism movement pushed for gender equality. The women wanted to make it seem as though that men and women are equal to one another, and they could do whatever we can do, and they could do it to the same level. And it's like, if that's the case, then why is it that women get, y'all get praised for working fast food jobs? Nobody, especially with the climate that we're in right now, especially if you're a decently good-looking woman, and you're working a fast food job or a basic level, entry-level job somewhere. Doesn't have to necessarily be fast food. It could be Walmart. It could be the grocery store. Women get applauded for that, especially with the climate we're in when women get on the internet and they make OnlyFans accounts and they make all this money from making sexual types of content on the internet and, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Women get applauded for these types of things. They get applauded for not going to be strippers and escorts and stuff like that and going to get entry-level jobs. But the feminism movement pushed for total equality. Y'all can do what we can do, and y'all could do it sometimes even better or to the same level as men can do on average. So if that's the case, why aren't women going to get welding trades? There are women going to get welding trades, but that's typically not like I finished my welding class. There was only two women in the class, and there's a new welding class right there at my school, and there's another maybe 2 women in there full of men. It's a male-dominated career field. It's a man-dominated career field: construction, labor, welding, plumbing, electricians, HVAC, all the things that keep society intact. Without the welders, McDonald's wouldn't exist. You need construction workers, and welders are a type of construction worker. You need construction workers in order for the McDonald's workers to even exist in the first place. It's just more that's expected from men within society, and that's why this happens. That's why, at least that's my opinion. I think maybe I could be wrong, but I think I'm on the right track of what I'm trying to say. It just is what it is. I'm looking for a second job right now, as a matter of fact. I work at Sonics, so that's a fast food, but I'm looking for a second part-time job right now, so that way I can have 2 jobs. I'm going to the dollar store tomorrow. I'm going to talk to the hiring manager tomorrow at the Dollar Tree. So if I can land that job, I'm working at Sonic and I'm working at the dollar store. So that's 2 jobs, a full-time job and a part-time job. That's just to hold me over until I can get the welding job. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, man, if people want to call me broke and dusty or whatever, man, I'm working, I'm making money. And it's not about how much money you make, it's about what you do with it. And you got to take into account that I don't live in a big urban city in a high cost living state, right? I don't live in California. I don't live in New York. Those places are expensive. I live down south. where things are usually a lot cheaper. So I can make $30,000 a year, and I can make things happen. If I want to take a trip overseas to another country and I want to go on vacation, I can do it. I want to splurge here and there and treat myself every now and then. I can do it. It's harder to do that when you live in high cost living places like New York or California, et cetera, et cetera. Those places are expensive. I live in a cheap area, one of the lowest cost living states in the country. So then you got to take that into factor. So it's not about how much money you make. It's about what you do with your money. And it's about where you live. Right? So it is what it is, man. But hey, I'll be broke. I'll be dusty, whatever people want to call me. But at the end of the day, I'm working. I'm about to get a second job. And this is just to hold me over until I get the welding job, because I got a trade. I got a skill. I decided to go to school and I got my education, I got a college degree and a trade under my belt. And I got a nicely done resume, professionally made. So that's just to hold me over until I get the career. Once I get the trade career, and that's all she wrote. But, I just love that people look down on fast food workers. And people don't just look down on fast food workers. They look down on fast food workers who are males, who are men. Those are the ones they really look down on. People typically don't look down on the young lady working at McDonald's. She gets praised. It is what it is, though. Life is not fair. Society is not fair. Things are not equal. Men and women are not equal to one another. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of certain women trying to push that forth. No, we're not. That's not to say that one is better than the other. That's just to say that we're not the same. No, we're not. And until y'all can accept that fact, it is what it is, man. I get shamed and I get looked down upon for working the same job that you work. We work in the same job, but I get called broke and dusty and you get a round of applause. Come on, man. We're not the same. There's more things that are expected of me as a man, right? I understand that. But hey, that's why I went and got my trade. That's why I went and got a skill. So now I don't have to just rely on fast food forever. That's just a stepping stone. That's just to hold me over until I get the career.